And we're keeping an eye on the middle of the week. That's where we start to run into the bumps. Tomorrow's a good day. It starts off a little chilly in the morning. You may need a jacket as we start the morning drive, but the afternoon is pretty sweet. A lot of us top out in the upper 70s, 77 from Gainesville to Canton, 79 in Athens and Rome. We're closer to 80 here in Atlanta, and we're dealing with the mid 70s in the North Georgia Mountains. No matter how you slice it, Tuesday is definitely a win. By Wednesday, we're looking at a more unsettled weather pattern taking hold, and it's going to give us the opportunity for some rain and storms. And I think that we'll start to see some of this moisture pushing into the area as early as late morning, so around 11 o'clock, moving in for lunchtime. And then, unfortunately, there will still be some energy left over as we head into the 5 o'clock hour. Will not be as heavy as some of the earlier afternoon rain and storms, but still some energy for sure for us to track. And then as we head into Thursday, we'll see another wave of it. Earlier showers in the morning and then a secondary wave as we head into the afternoon. And we'll be watching because in the afternoons, the heating of the day can kind of destabilize things and we can get some of those storms to be a little bit aggressive, not quite severe, but could produce some heavy downpours, some lightning, some gusty wind and small hail. So something we'll be watching as we round out the work week. We're keeping a rain chance around on Friday, but we do think the further north you are, the better likelihood you will not see much of that moisture. And we're going to trend drier as we head into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday both look amazing. Mid-70s Saturday afternoon, slightly warmer on Sunday. We are watching the beginning of next week. Another system will likely move in either Monday or Tuesday. That's bringing those rain chances back into the forecast.